What's great? It's your boy, Bumford, and today I'm about to teach you how to cook some duck. Watch this. Boom. I got these boneless duck breasts from my butcher. They didn't butcher it or anything, but, I bought it there. I've seen these out east, Long Island, like by them like farmers markets and all that. So, yes. Alright, first things first. I had this joint defrosting for like 2 days. Cut it out, I drain the blood. Not blood, by the way. Technically, it's myoglobin, but you know. All right, so boom. You got the duck out. They kind of already separated it for us, but it's not all the way. You feel me? So, how my knife go? All right, Shazam, clean knife. Now let's get the cut. All right. So what we got to do is prepare the duck for the marinade. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna separate these, like I said I would. All right. So I'm gonna poke the meat pause so that when I put it in the marinade, it can penetrate deeper into the tissue. You feel me? You want to make sure that marinade gets nice and deep in here. We do that for both of them, so we can get that flavor throughout the entire duck breast. Because the thing about marinades, they don't penetrate much deeper than the surface level. So I make these holes so when it's submerged, it can get deeper than just the surface, and you get like a full, complete seasoning of the meat. All right, score the skin. All right. I like to give it a little crosshatch action, you feel me? So you don't want to score it too deep, you don't want to cut the meat that's underneath the skin. You want to get it just so that when you're cooking it, the fat has a place to escape when you render it. Because with duck breast, you got to cook it low and slow so that all the fat in between the meat and the skin can render out. Waterfowl have a lot of fat underneath their skin so that it can insulate them, because they be in the water a lot, so they have more subcutaneous fat than say like chicken or turkey. Duck fat's actually really good for you too. So I'm gonna score it. Don't forget to wash your hands in between touching things so they don't cross-contaminate. Now we prepare the marinade. We'll set this here. Marinade. We're gonna need some Chinese 5-spice, some star anise, something. We're gonna have some hoisin sauce. We're gonna have some mirin, and we're gonna have some liquid aminos. Typically people use soy sauce for it. However, I prefer liquid aminos, and the taste profile is not going to be that different unless you use like a real legit soy sauce. So I don't measure anything. I'm going to keep it above. However, the marinade is going to be mostly liquid aminos. I'm going to just use the rest of it because it's done. It's done. All right. Boom. A little bit of mirin. Damn. Shit tight. All right. Pour some mirin in there. Boop, boop. Bam. Hoisin sauce. Cloves are very strong. So I'm literally going to put 2 in here. You feel me? I'm putting literally 2 cloves. I'll put 3. Star anise. All right. Star anise. I'm gonna put 1. That's all I need. No, I'm gonna put 2. All right. Now, the 5 spice. I'm gonna just like put some in there, just a little bit of a lot of it. You feel me? It's not precise. Boom. So I take the bag, make sure I have some air in it, and I give it a little. You feel me? Now, put the duckies in your marinade. Seal that up. I like to get all the air out of the bag. That way, the marinade kind of fills up more space. I feel like you get more coverage of the meat and you get as much air out as possible. Boom. Wiggle it around a little bit. So now, I'm going to put this in a bowl. And I'm going to leave it in the fridge overnight. So, next day, I'm going to come back and we're going to finish this up.
24 hours later.
Alright, the duck breast has been marinating overnight. I'm about to cook it. So, I let it sit here on the counter way before I even started this video so it get the room temperature. Because the thing with duck, you need it in the pan, cold, and the duck needs to be room temperature. You want to give that fat a good amount of time to render out, alright? So, let's hop into it. Alright, so now that the duck has reached room temperature, we're ready to throw it in the pan. However, I'm going to make the sauce for the duck that I'm going to drizzle on top beforehand. So, a little bit of sesame oil, some chives. Remember, I'm cooking on the fly. Anything you want to add to this, more than welcome. Do it to taste. That's the beauty of cooking on the fly. We don't follow a recipe. I'm going to do a little roasted, well, this is roasted garlic powder. I'm guessing garlic powder would do the same thing, but a little bit of hoisin sauce. And I got this. This is like artisan soy sauce. I couldn't find dark soy sauce at my local supermarket, so this was the next best thing. So I'm gonna add some of that. I'm gonna whisk it. Put that to the side for now. So I'm gonna take the duck out of the marinade now. Put it on my cutting board. You can throw the marinade away unless you have some sort of weird attachment to it. I won't judge, but I'm gonna throw mine away. I make a habit out of patting my meats dry before I cook them because dry meat is always the best cook. Oh, I got a clove in here. Anyway, a dry meat is always the best cooked meat. You know, any moisture when you're cooking this, especially when you're rendering fat. Okay, so we have the drizzle sauce made. Now we need the skin covering. You see, because the beauty of duck is the crispy skin coating combined with the medium rare texture of the meat beneath and the fat rendered out just perfectly. So we're gonna need to whip up something so that the skin crisps up nice in the pan. And I'll show you how just now. I know it looks like pudding here, but it's cornstarch. I had to get it from my supermarket because we ran out. I don't measure anything, just All you need is like about like a tablespoon or so. That's all you need. All right, so we had a little bit of technical difficulties in the kitchen.
You what?
Tried to put the cornstarch away. It kind of exploded all over the backside of my pocket. So, it's gonna blow up. Anyway, like I was saying, we need to make just a coating so that we could just like wipe it across the skin so that we can get that nice crust. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take the cornstarch. I'm going to add the mirin first because it's the thickest of the liquids that I'm gonna add. Well, the honey might be thicker, but whatever. The cornstarch tends to clump up and I wanna avoid that. So I'm gonna mix the cornstarch. Did I say mirin? I meant hoisin sauce. No mirin will be added in this mixture. All right, so let me take the soy sauce. Bow. Once again, typically I would like to use dark soy sauce for this, but my supermarket didn't have it and we're cooking on the fly, so I make do. That's the beauty of it. On the fly cooking, we make substitutes. And then now, I'm gonna add some honey. Just a little bit, I don't wanna go too crazy. Whip that up. So, the hoisin sauce, the honey, the dark soy sauce for flavor, and the cornstarch is really key. When you just brush this across the skin, when you cook the duck, you're supposed to cook it low and slow. So all of these will start to caramelize when you put it on the pan after a couple minutes. The cornstarch is key because when the fat starts to come out from underneath the skin and get into the pan, it combines with the cornstarch and it creates that savory crust layer on the skin. So that's what we're really looking for. All right, so our sauce is made. And now we go to the pan. All right, so typically if you had like a kitchen brush or something, this is where you would brush it, but I don't have such luxury kitchen utensils, so I'm just gonna, my hands are clean. I'm gonna pour a little bit. I'm gonna just rub it in. Rub it in. Let me use all of it. Just rub that over the skin. Beautiful. All right, so when you're cooking duck, it's important. Skin side down in the pan. I don't need to coat the pan with any kind of oil because I coated the skin with a little concoction, I guess, that has sesame seed oil in it. I'm gonna put it on low for right now. And then we're gonna let that cook. We're gonna let the fat render. And we're gonna check in every once in a while, make sure it's doing all right, okay? All right, so we're 20 minutes-ish in. Look at all that. Look at all that fat that's rendering out. Look at all that fat that's rendering out. We got a little bit of fond building up. That's gonna go into the sauce that we made earlier. Now we're gonna let this sit for a while. All right, check it out. It's been about 30 minutes or so. 30, 40, I don't know. Look at the meat, pause, I guess. So at this time, I'm gonna turn it up to about medium high, just so that skin can get like that nice crust, you feel me? So I'm gonna turn it to about medium high, and then we're gonna come check back about 10 minutes, all right? All right, so boom, we flip it. So when we flip it, we gotta cook it on the reverse side for a little bit. Press it down a little bit, you know. Let it cook a little bit, but we did most of the cooking on the skin side, so this is not gonna take too long. Alright, the duck is done. Just like any other meat, you gotta let it rest for at least like 15 minutes for the juices reabsorb back into the meat, you know what I'm saying? As for the fat, I keep jars on hand. Duck fat you do not want to let go to waste, so it looks a little impure and has impurities, but that's fine. Listen, this is cooking on the fly, or on the fly cooking, whatever. So we make do, because we don't have all them hoity-toity strainers and all that nonsense, right? We just cook for the sake of cooking. I can't even find the top, so I'm just about to plasti wrap it. So take the duck fat, put it in the fridge. I might fry my potato knishes in it. It's good for a lot of things though. Duck fat is very healthy. It's high in, I'm not even gonna lie to anybody. I know it's high in something, but nothing I can quote right now. All right, so that's the duck. That's the whole process. Listen, this is on the fly cooking. This is pretty damn good for just thinking on the fly. I got more recipes coming up. Well, technically it's not a recipe because it's on the fly. I'll teach you how to do it and you be cooking. Take care. Peace out.